Hello everyone, welcome to this video. So if you are planning to write the PRINCE2 Foundation exam in 2026, choosing the wrong study materials is one of the most common reasons candidates either struggle badly or walk into that exam completely underprepared. And in 2026, with the 7th edition of PRINCE2 now firmly becoming the basis for both the foundation and the practitioner exams, this problem has actually gone worse, not better. Now you may ask why, and that is primarily because there is still a lot of outdated version 6 content floating around regarding the PRINCE2 exam syllabus online. And if you are studying for the wrong edition of the exam, you are essentially preparing for an exam that really no longer exists. Full stop. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 key study materials and resources you genuinely need to prepare for the PRINCE2 Foundation exam in 2026. And make sure you watch this video till the very end, because the last point is the one that most candidates completely overlook, and it could be the single biggest difference between a pass and a fail in the exam. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's start with the first and the most important resource, the official PRINCE2 Managing Successful Projects Manual 7th edition. Now when it comes to the PRINCE2 exam, this is the Bible, Everything in the PRINCE2 Foundation exam, every question, every concept, every term is drawn directly from this manual. So if you are serious about passing this exam, this manual is non-negotiable. Now the 7th edition of the PRINCE2 manual, which was released in 2023, is a significant update from version 6 of the manual, which was published way back in 2017. It replaces the old themes with practices, strengthens the focus on people, sustainability, and digital delivery, and also refines the 7 principles and the 7 processes throughout. So if you have an older copy of this PRINCE2 manual sitting on your shelf from a previous attempt, or let's say from your colleague, please put it aside, It will not serve you well for the 2026 version of the PRINCE2 exam. However, here is the good news though, If you enroll in a PRINCE2 training program through any accredited training organization, let's say my organization for example, you will receive the official ebook version of the manual as a complimentary resource as part of your training program. And of course, if you have that ebook, you do not need to purchase it separately whilst you are preparing for the exam. However, if you prefer to study from a physical copy, the hard copy of the manual is also available for purchase. Now honestly, I don't think that for the foundation level of the exam you need the physical book, Simply because the foundation exam of PRINCE2 is a closed book exam, right? However, if you still prefer learning the old school way, you can definitely purchase the book, Just so that you know. Now, having the manual is one thing, right? However, knowing how to actually study from the manual is something else entirely, And that brings me straight to the next point. Alright, so moving on to the second resource, and this one is really about how you structure your learning journey, And here we are talking about ATO-approved trainings. So ATO stands for Accredited Training Organization, and it simply means that the training provider has been officially accredited by PeopleCert and Axelos to deliver PRINCE2 certification training programs. So the training materials an ATO provides are built directly from the official PRINCE2 7th edition syllabus. No guesswork, no interpretation, no outdated content, What you study is precisely what the exam tests. Now, here is where a lot of candidates make a costly mistake, There are plenty of cheap non-accredited PRINCE2 courses available online, and to be honest, on the surface they look perfectly fine. But the problem with such courses is that there is no quality assurance behind them, The content may be partially outdated, loosely aligned to the syllabus, or simply incomplete. And you will not know that until you are sitting in the exam wondering why on earth the questions feel unfamiliar. Also, there is a practical reality that many aspirants are not aware of, okay? So even if, let's say, you manage to get hold of some free or cheap study materials for the PRINCE2 exam to help you prepare for it, you actually need an ATO to provide you with your official PRINCE2 exam voucher, okay? Because without that exam voucher code, you cannot sit the exam. So at some point in your journey, you will be working with an ATO regardless. Now, my organization is an accredited training organization for PRINCE2 with Axelos and PRINCE2 okay? And the details of my training programs are on screen now if you would like to explore that further. However, just to be transparent, I am not the only ATO which you need to go with, okay? You can do your research and find one that really fits you. As long as they are registered with PRINCE2 and have an official ATO ID, you are good to go. Now, once you have your PRINCE2 manual and your training organization in place, the next thing you need to get serious about is practice, right? And this is where most candidates either win or lose the exam completely. And that takes us to point number 3, which is mock exams and practice question banks. Now, I cannot stress this enough, okay? Passing the PRINCE2 Foundation exam is not just about reading and understanding the PRINCE2 manual content, okay? It is about training yourself to answer 60 questions accurately within 60 minutes. That is 1 minute per question, okay? And the only way to build that speed and that confidence is through deliberate, consistent practice. Now, most ATO training programs will include mock exams as part of their offering, okay? So do make full use of them if you are already registered within a training program. They are aligned to the actual exam format and reflect the real difficulty level of the questions that you will face in the actual exam. Now, here is something I would also want you to know, okay? It's not just the number of mocks you do. It is what you do after each and every mock exam attempt. So the quality of analysis for each mock exam rather than the number of mocks is what will actually matter. Which means every time you complete a practice test, go through every single question you got incorrect, okay? Understand why the correct answer is correct and why your answer was incorrect. What is the key learning point for a particular question? Prepare error logs if you feel that it would help you, okay? Because that kind of a detailed analysis is where the real learning happens for a certification exam. Now, whilst you are practicing mocks, a useful benchmark to aim for in your practice course is consistently scoring about 70% or above, because that gives you a healthy buffer above the 60% pass marks on the exam day when your stress factor also needs to be accounted for. And that brings me to the next resource. Alright, so the fourth study material, and this one is free, YouTube. Now, I want to be straightforward with you here, okay? YouTube should not be your primary study resource for the PRINCE2 Foundation exam. It is a supplement, not a substitute. It builds awareness, not preparation. However, to be honest, when used correctly, YouTube is genuinely valuable. So good YouTube content can help you break down some quite complex PRINCE2 concepts that feel dense on paper, okay? Also, sometimes you walk through practice questions with detailed explanations, and that gives you a clearer picture of how the framework actually works in practice. Now, on this channel, Project Mastery with Ray, I regularly publish PRINCE2 content covering the 7th edition framework, practice questions, exam tips and career guidance for PRINCE2 professionals or PRINCE2 aspirants, let's say, okay? So if you have not already subscribed, you might as well do that now, because the content on this channel is specifically designed to support candidates exactly like you through your PRINCE2 journey. Also, an important point to note is not every PRINCE2 video on YouTube is based on the current 7th edition, okay? Always check when the content was published and whether it references the version 7 of the PRINCE2 exam specifically. So for example, on this channel, I always publish videos aligned to the 7th version of PRINCE2. Alright, so the 5th and the final resource, and this one is really about what to avoid as much as what to use, which is outdated study materials, okay? Now, as I mentioned earlier, there is still a significant amount of PRINCE2 6th edition content circulating online, in books, on course platforms like Udemy, and across YouTube as well. And the differences between version 6 and version 7 are not minor, okay? So for example, themes became practices, totally different terminology. The people element was strengthened. The issue practice was called out separately. Sustainability and digital delivery was introduced, and the list is quite extensive. And these are testable areas in your exam as well, okay? So studying from version 6 materials just because it's still PRINCE2 could backfire on you. Also, please be cautious of third-party exam dumps, okay? Because they are often inaccurate, misaligned to the current syllabus, and in some cases, a direct violation of PeopleCert's exam integrity and intellectual property policies. Also, for third-party dumps, you will not have an ATO like me sitting behind it to help you answer any queries or any questions if you have those whilst you are solving those question dumps. So to summarize, whichever study materials you choose, please make sure that it's current, up to date and relevant. Now, when you are about to start preparation for your PRINCE2 Foundation exam, and if you feel that your foundational project management knowledge needs strengthening before you dive into PRINCE2 specifically, I do have a project management basics course available on Udemy. It covers the core concepts that underpin any project management certification, and it's a great starting point before you move into the PRINCE2 territory. Now, the good part about this course is it's independent of any certification exam, okay? So be it PRINCE2, PMP, CAPM, whichever project management exam you are targeting, this will definitely help you. So to summarize the entire video, those are the 5 key study materials you would need for your PRINCE2 Foundation exam preparation in 2026. If you have liked the video, please press the like button, and I'll see you again in the next video.